right, what's going on, everybody? Who we winning 86 back again with the Overrated Podcast, episode 113. Who we winning 86 here, and with me, as always, is Traditionalist 101. It's been a minute since we've done a podcast. It's been a week, so it's been what, like, no, 2 weeks ago was our last podcast. So yeah, it's been a minute. What's going on?
Righty, yeah. Traditionalist 101 is here. As I always say, it's always good to hold on to tradition, folks. Yes. But yeah, it's been I didn't think it was 2 weeks, but maybe you're right.
Yeah, last time we did the podcast was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, we didn't do one last week. I think you had some stuff to do on that Monday. And well, I thought we were going to be able to do one Tuesday, but I had to work on Tuesday night. So Tuesday was no good. Wednesday was no good. Thursday and Friday, no good. Now Saturday and Sunday, we could have done one, but I just discovered before this podcast started that you would have been okay with it. Like, I didn't know. So next time I'll ask if push goes to shove, we could do one on Saturday or Sunday, whichever. I'll be cool with that. But yeah, I really wanted to talk about last week on the podcast last week. But man, I was as all the times that I was disappointed, I was definitely disappointed that we couldn't do one last week.
Yeah, me too. It just obviously I know you have a second job, and I've been doing a lot of side work also. So it's gonna be a lot tougher to do these if it's not on Monday. But we're here. We again, we have 4 topics. I will update the podcast when we get a chance. It's just that the problem that we've had the last couple podcasts is, one, my internet had been garbage. Thankfully so far it's held up. And we've been starting late, and we've been ending the podcast before we were able to finish topics. So we'll try to do better on that. It's just, like I said, it's just tough because, I like to have a conversational podcast, and sometimes conversations go long. So, it is where it is. So we'll try to do better on that. I'll try to do better. Like I said, I got a lot of stuff going on right now, and obviously you have a lot of stuff going on too, but we will try to do our best to accommodate you guys.
Yeah, we'll definitely try our best. And it's what also really frustrates me is when you have people say, "Hey, when's the podcast is going to start?" And when I get private texts or someone's DM me, "Yo, no podcast today," and I'm just, crap, man. It really irritates me because it pretty much is a pure indication that people do want to support the channel. People actually likes the show. And then whether if I'm on the phone or if I'm at work and someone asks me, "Oh, you didn't do a podcast," it kind of irritates me because I do want the podcast to grow, and I do appreciate how people supports it. So it kind of puts me in a state of mind of disappointment because you have people who wants to support it. So and I was having a private conversation with someone, and he pretty much, he was pretty much straight up honest with me and said that if you want your podcast to succeed, it's not good to not have, because it's bad enough that you only have just one a week, and when you have a podcast where now a whole week goes by and you're leaving people hanging and not starting on time. Like, I was reading some really good criticism. Like, these criticism was actually legit, and I actually appreciate it too. And I told them that, yeah, with all the technical difficulties we've been having and starting late and not having to be consistent with the podcast to have at least one every week, I pretty much promised him and everyone else that we will get that fixed, and we will do our best, to get it fixed ASAP as soon as we can.
All right, so like I said, we have technically we have 4 topics. I don't have any articles prepared. Because the thing is that we know what we normally do is we normally you know kind of share what topics we want to talk about, but like I said, you've been busy, I've been busy, so we haven't really technically been able to do that. But we I guess we can talk about our football teams real quick. Both teams won this week after both teams lost last week. But you guys beat Denver, and we beat the Giants. And let me say this about the Giants. That team sucks, bro. That team is garbage. Oh my, especially without Saquon Barkley, they suck, bro. And they were in
uh,
the playoffs last year. I don't understand. I don't understand how they got this bad.
yeah, for me, I should have. I didn't really pay too much attention, like during, like during the draft or free agency and things like that. I didn't really pay attention too much, with that team. I was really mainly focusing on the Jets, Green Bay, and obviously Miami and a few more other teams. But the Giants, like I didn't really pay any attention to, and the same thing for Detroit. Like I'm actually surprised how how good they are, and that's just my fault of not like because I know what a lot of people would say is that when you want to talk about a particular like sport or whatever, it's good to try to keep an update to go what goes on in every team, but it's so hard to do that, especially if it's teams that you don't even care about or that you don't really want to talk about. But then you start missing updates like this. Like I didn't expect the Giants to be this bad, and I didn't expect Detroit to be this good. And so it kind of like solidifies the point that yeah, it's at least try to keep an update to go what goes on with every team. But the thing is, it's so hard to do that. I don't know if you do that, but if you do, like I applaud you that
Yeah,
you.
I try not. I try not to, but like you said, you're always going to have situation, especially now that I'm doing fantasy football. Like you kind of have to know
Yeah,
how
me too.
these
Yeah.
teams. Yeah, you kind of have to know how some of these teams are doing. Like I had a feeling Detroit was going to be better than last year. Because they were trending in the right direction. I didn't expect Minnesota to be bad, even though I kind of low key thought they were frauds last year. I didn't expect them to be bad this year. Um,
Well, to be credit, like I actually still think that, they're a decent team. When you look at every team that that they face and how many points they have lost by, they usually lose by either a touchdown or a lot less. And they're always in these dog fights. And like every game that they have been in has been really really close.
oh,
So I
Minnesota,
don't
right?
yeah. So I don't necessarily think that they are a bad team. It's just been a lot of close calls that what happened. And I honestly think that people say that they got screwed over against Kansas City, which was a very, very, very
I
controversial,
I missed the ending of the game. Like I was watching it on and off, but then my nieces came over, and by the time they left,
they came over. Oh gosh, okay. What happened?
yeah, yeah. So yeah. So by the time they left, the game was over, and I missed the ending. I know
Oh,
Kansas
okay, okay.
won, but I missed the ending.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So pretty much like I wish I had I wish I had at least like a video like someone had put a video on it and was pretty much critiquing of what happened, but pretty much they the officials had called pass interference, and then they picked up the flag
Hmm.
and they said, oh no, it wasn't a pass interference. And to me, like some say, well, the ball was uncatchable, but you could clearly see that that defender was hindering. I forgot who he was throwing the ball to, was hindering him from making that turn to catch the ball on the left side. So I could understand, Minnesota fans being frustrated, with that last play, but in a way, like I don't want to say, all right, all these people talking about that the NFL is rigged and oh, there's cheating going on. Look, I do not want to have a discussion, regarding that, because unless you give me like actual proof and evidence that this stuff is actually rigged, I don't really want to hear. I don't want to hear anything about speculation and stuff like that. We've been having bad calls forever in just about every sport. That's why we have reviews, right? But as far as in this particular case, I do think the flag should have been thrown. But the game, but even if the flag was thrown, nobody who knows if Minnesota would have won the game anyway. Like I don't necessarily think. I think Kansas City probably would have won the game if they went to overtime, but at least give them a chance. So I understand the big controversy in that game. Why pick up the flag? It was, he clearly held the guy. It was pass interference, but now I honestly think, as far as Minnesota's concerned, I think their season is over. It's going to be really, really difficult because you're 1-4. I understand that your games have been really close, but I think their season is over.
Well, okay, so they're in the same division as Chicago. They stink. I don't care what happened last Thursday. They still stink. And then they have Green Bay, who's playing right now. So what's the score in the Green Bay game?
I think it's 3-0. Yeah, still 3-0.
Now, if Green Bay loses, then I mean their season's not over. Their season's not over. Now, they need to start getting some wins. I don't know what their schedule is after that, but they need to start getting some wins. Mm-hmm. So they probably won't catch Detroit, but the rest of that division is not very good. So we'll see. We'll see.
I see what you're saying, mm-hmm. but when you look at the whole entire conference, like teams who's not probably going to win the division, I don't think anyone with the exception of because I do think Detroit's better than Green Bay. I do think Detroit's in NFC North. I do think Detroit's better than Green Bay. And I think Green Bay is good enough. I think they're better than the Vikings also. So who does that leave off? Like the Seattle Seahawks is really good. They're right behind. Well, I shouldn't say right behind the 49ers, but the Seahawks, they're decent. That's a decent team. So I think, in my opinion, the playoffs is already going to be filled because you have the 49ers who's going to be obviously leading that division. You have Tampa Bay Buccaneers who's leading their division. The Lions
you trust Tampa Bay?
Yeah.
Personally, I think every team in that division is not good.
Well, they're 3-1, so I think they're fine.
They're not that good.
Well,
they may be the best of the worst, but they're not that good.
Well, but in either case, if they lead their division, obviously that's a playoff spot right there for them. Yeah. And obviously you have the Eagles and you have the Cowboys, who I think they are the bigger frauds than Minnesota, in my concern. I mean, everyone want to talk about them being a Super Bowl team. Nobody was saying that about Minnesota. That's what they were saying about Dallas. That's the biggest fraud, in my opinion. That's the fraud right there. But
I'm not surprised they got their asses kicked by San Francisco. San Francisco, in my opinion, is the best team in football right now.
Absolutely.
They're the best team in football. So
give Brock Purdy some props, please.
Yeah, I got to give him props. That dude been excellent. Like I know,
been consistently good.
Yeah, and 2 weeks, I think 2 weeks ago he was what he only had one incompletion.
Yeah,
that's pretty good. That's pretty damn good.
So I detect apology coming.
I'm not apologizing for nothing.
I detect apology coming for Brock Purdy.
I'm not apologizing for nothing. Like he has a plethora of great players around him, but if you don't,
same thing with Tua. Go ahead.
Yeah, true. That's true. But if you don't do nothing with it, then you're garbage. Because trust me, Jimmy Garoppolo was not putting up these type of numbers with that team.
Mm-hmm.
And I swear to God, I hear all these people talking up Jimmy Garoppolo like he was ever anything good.
Yeah, like he was someone special. Yeah.
Yeah, he's average, even below average. But yeah, all people talk about
this guy says below average. That's
he
funny.
is. But everyone talks about him like he's some hot shit. That's why I'm not understanding. I never understood this because I look at this I looked at this tier list, right? And this guy has Tua in the 7th tier. He has Garoppolo above him.
Oh wow.
And he has and I'm gonna get to Mac Jones in a second. He has Mac Jones above Tua.
Mm-hmm.
You got like it's just the people who analyze these quarterbacks don't know what the fuck they're doing. Don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Yeah.
Jimmy Garoppolo stinks. And you look and trust me, he ain't never put up numbers that Brock Purdy has. Never put up those type of numbers.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, they're the best team. They're the best team in the NFC, right? Would I call Dallas frauds? I mean, I guess you could say
Come on. You can say it. You can say it.
No, I guess you could say. I guess you could say so. But look, San Francisco, they're the better team. I didn't expect Dallas to go in there and beat them.
Right.
Definitely didn't expect that. You know, the Eagles are obviously they're up there too. You know, so but after that, you have a lot of teams who are just there. I think Detroit is a little bit better than just there, but I don't think they're a contender to San Francisco or Philadelphia. I think Philly and San Francisco is top tier. Detroit is in the 2nd tier. They're second tier.
Second tier.
Yeah.
Okay.
Along with probably a team like, I actually would still put Dallas in that 2nd tier.
Really? So then they're not frauds then.
I mean, that's why I hesitate to call them frauds because I didn't expect them to be San Francisco. I didn't expect them to. So I put them in the 2nd tier. Everything else is up for grabs, in my opinion. So I wouldn't say that Minnesota is out of it, but they can't lose. They have to reach 500 at some point. Fairly soon. They have to get to 500 at some point.
Wait, who are you talking about?
Minnesota.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they have to get to 500 at some point. But okay, so we mentioned Dallas. But I did bring up New England. I did bring up Mac Jones, right? Mm-hmm. We are seeing the demise of the New England Patriots. And I can't explain to you how happy I am that we're seeing this.
Really?
Now,
okay.
Now here's the thing. The unfortunate thing is that I did, for some fucking stupid fucking reason, have them as my defense for fantasy.
Why?
And they get because I thought that New Orleans offense is worse than New England's.
Okay.
But clearly I'm wrong because over the last 2 games, how many points did they score? 3 points. They've been getting their ass whooped the last 2 weeks. And let me ask you this one question before we move on to something else, right? Do you think Bill Belichick is a fraud?
No.
Yeah, I agree. No. I agree too. I agree. A lot of people are saying, "Oh well, without Brady, you haven't done this, you haven't done that."
Give me a break. Like the people have been like, I don't understand this notion. Like the guy has, been winning for all these years and understood that he doesn't have, someone like Tom Brady, anymore. But like Tom Brady was like elites of the elites. You know what I'm saying? Like he's the best he's the best, quarterback in the league. I know some people still have Joe Montana's number one, which is fine, but I'm putting Tom Brady up there. But you cannot expect Bill Belichick, to just pick up, where he left off after, Tom Brady leaving. Like you can't, you just can't expect him. Like the same thing. I don't want to, veer off, to something else, but the same thing when people were criticizing Greg Popovich. Oh, well, he's really not that good of a coach. He had Tim Duncan and David Robinson the first time, and then when David Robinson leaves, he continues to win, but he had Tim Duncan with him, and then he had Kawhi. So, no, so he wasn't really that good. Like that, cut the crap, cut the crap. Now that he has Victor, we'll see what he does. And until Bill Belichick get a decent quarterback, like you know, I don't want to hear anything about him being a fraud. I don't. I don't. He had already solidified of him being the best coach, the NFL coach, one of the best NFL coaches of all time. So I don't want to hear that garbage. I don't. Do you think it's a legit reason to call him a fraud?
No. But I will say this: he should be fired as a GM because they have a bunch of dog shit on that team, at least offensively. You talking to Mike Gesicki? What's he done? You have Devontae Parker. If Devontae Parker is your number one wide receiver, your offense sucks.
Mm-hmm.
You have Ezekiel Elliott, who hasn't done anything, and you have Mac Jones, who's not very good. But I can't blame him for not being very good.
Well, nobody didn't expect a this huge drop off from Ezekiel Elliott, though. I didn't expect that.
I mean, you saw it. You saw it in Dallas. He wasn't even their number one option. It was Pollard who was their number one option.
Well, he got better.
Yeah, he was better, but they paid for Ezekiel Elliott, and what's he done? He's done nothing. Like, look, yeah, I've never thought Mac Jones was anything special.
He's not. I don't think he's good. I think he's just average or worse.
But people always say, "Oh, he's better than Tua. He this and that," and they give him. The NFL media gave this dude so much props for doing nothing. And even when he sucks, people make excuses for him. But I can't blame him because he has nobody around him.
Crap! The Raiders just scored. Yeah, my bad. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So, is there any other team you want to talk about before we move on?
Who else did I wanted to talk about? I think there was at least one more team. Who was it? Okay, we kind of already addressed. We kind of already. How do you feel about Kansas City? Like, do you think they're the same elite team, or like do you think they'll make it to the Super Bowl for sure?
I mean, I'm not
what I mean is like is it a just as an easier pick to pick them like it was last year?
No, because no, I wouldn't say that because like I said, you have teams like obviously you still have Buffalo even though they did lose. Shout out to the Jaguars. I mean, Miami is a serious contender. I mean, then you have.
But what I'm asking is, are they better than Kansas City?
Personally, look, it's hard to say, man, because I think skill wise, I think Miami has better skill players than Kansas City. But my thing is, I don't know how good. I know Kansas. I think Kansas City's defense is good. I actually think they have a very good defense.
Mm-hmm.
Miami defense is kind of sketchy. But when you have that dude at quarterback, man, you can never doubt them. When you have Mahomes, when you have the best quarterback in the league, you can never. It's hard to doubt them.
That dude, bro, he has to be the best scrambler of all time, man. The way how this dude could run to the right, throw the ball back to the left. You know how they say quarterbacks should never do that. Like, no ever, throw across, your body, and he just does it at will and still able to complete the pass. Like this, that guy. Every time I watch him play, I'm constantly always in awe to see how in the world was he able to throw the ball like that. Like I don't know what's going on, with that dude. And Roy, who we will always talk about him all the time. He thinks he's going to be the future GOAT. He's going to surpass. He's going to surpass Peyton Manning. He's going to pass Montana and Tom Brady. He said he thinks he's going to be the number one GOAT before he retires.
The only way you're going to beat Brady is if he has more championships. That's it. That's the only way you're going to
I honestly believe that now that quarterbacks are now that running backs is pretty much almost, now I'm not gonna say completely, but almost irrelevant. He's eventually going to have more numbers than Tom Brady.
Oh yeah, I would. Well, he has to. Obviously, he has to play. He has to play a long time like Brady did, but
yeah. But remember, you're right.
Yeah, he has to. Yeah, but but ultimately, like he has to win the Super Bowls. I do believe that he has to win all the Super Bowls. Cause I don't see anybody winning 7 Super Bowls like Brady did. I just don't see it.
I honestly think Mahomes could do it. I honestly think Brady. I mean Brady. I think Mahomes could actually do it.
He's already been to 3, and
exactly,
and we'll see, man. We'll see, but yeah, we'll see. But I'll never count out Mahomes in that team, never. So all right, so let me obviously acknowledge some people in the chat. F, what's going on, bro? How you doing?
What's up,
And
F? Oh, and I want to announce that speaking of F, I want to say congratulations to him. And I should have asked you permission first, Fred. But I want to congratulate F. He had proposed to his girl.
Oh, okay.
She said yes.
Okay.
And now he has a fiance, and this is definitely going in the right direction. And I met her. I met her. Beautiful young lady. I told Fred, excellent catch, my friend. Excellent catch. Keep this one. And so I just want to congratulate him, and I just continue to hope and pray that the relationship continues to succeed, and that you will be a very, very happy man. Yes, sir. So good stuff. Good stuff.
Congratulations to F. Congratulations to him. Hopefully everything goes well for them in the future.
Yes.
Before we move on to the next topic, there was something that I meant to address that I didn't get a chance to. I don't know if my sister's watching. I don't know if either one of them are watching. But this happened. I believe this happened last Thursday, going into Friday.
Oh,
no, yeah, Wednesday going into Thursday. Yeah. I meant.
News?
Yeah, I meant. I didn't mean to address this.
Okay.
We my sister, the younger one, my younger sister, she had a dog named Louie, right? And I remember the first time I met him. What's going on, Nolan? How you doing, bro?
Nolan, big shout out to you, bro. What's up?
Yeah. The first time I met him, I was coming home from work, and I see this fucking rat dog coming towards me, bark. He didn't bark at me. He just kind of ran around me. I'm like, who the hell is this? And my mom said that's her next dog, Louie. And I'm like, okay, well, we have a dog now. Which, now, mind you, the only pet that we've had before that was a cat named June.
You had 2 cats.
Yeah, we did have. Wait, the other one we didn't like that one. I didn't have no connection to her. And
Yeah,
the
but
other
y'all, yeah,
one,
but y'all kept it and y'all was feeding it, taking care of it, so you might as well say it was yours.
yeah, but then once we moved to it, once we moved, then then it just ran away. So I
No,
had no
no,
time.
no. That's not what happened.
No, that is what happened.
No, that's not what happened.
That is what happened.
Tell the truth. What happened?
Are you talking about June or the other cat?
I'm talking about the one that you let die. Talk about that one.
I don't. You see, that's the funny thing is I don't even know what the name of that cat was. I had no idea what the name of that cat was. So it's like I had no attachment to that
No,
cat.
well, okay, that's fine, but that's fine. But don't say that he ran away. Don't say that she ran
No,
away.
no, no, no.
You know
We
exactly
had
what
no. We had one that ran away. We had one. The cat that got mauled by those dogs. I had no idea who that cat was. Yeah, I didn't take care of. I didn't take care of it.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
I've seen you fed it before, many times.
Regardless, let's stick to. Let's stick to.
Yeah. So you let that cat die. You saw
Okay.
that dogs was attacking it, and instead of trying to intervene, what did you do? You went back to sleep.
I'm trying to honor my dead dog. Can we
You
move on,
you
please?
you went back to sleep. No, no, no. You
Can we move on, please?
you could move on.
All
But
right.
I just wanted to
Okay.
address
Regardless.
what the real truth was. But go ahead.
Regardless.
Yeah.
All right. So he lived with us for a good portion of his life, right? Like then when my sister moved to Kentucky, obviously she took him with him, and like I said, he was a when he obviously when he passed away Thursday morning, he was an elderly dog, right? Like he was about 15, 16 years old, right? He's a Yorkie, a
Mhm.
small Yorkie, and hold on a
Was
second.
that you?
Yeah, it's me. They're asking me when I want to reset, and I'm gonna do that later. Um. All right, he was an elderly dog, and he was having health problems. We when I got there, they were my sister was obviously all both sisters was already there, and my mom, who was taking care of him at the time, when they came in, when they got to him, she was there with him when he was like really doing bad. So she came with them also, and obviously my sister was broken up about it. My mom, she was heartbroken about it. Even my sister, and she didn't she and Whitney, like Whitney, she didn't really have that much of a connection to Louis, but even she was crying. And even me, I didn't cry, but it was sad to see, because this dog, seen this dog grow up. He had full of energy, full of life, and then over the years you see it kind of dissipate. And the last time I walked him, he would walk, but he's not really doing much, and it seemed to me, and the doctors confirmed that everything like breathing for him was so hard that everything else he just didn't have the energy for. Right, breathing for him was so hard that he really couldn't do anything else. Because I remember when I'm walking him back, I don't walk with him with a leash, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's behind me, right, and I'm we're heading back, inside the house, and I notice I don't see him, and then I look back, and he's like laying down on the ground. He was
Oh
too tired.
snap!
Yeah, too tired to continue walking. And and then the next day after I get out of work, I'm driving home, and then I get a call from my. I first I got a text from my brother, saying he sent a um group text saying that Louis wasn't doing well, right?
Yeah.
So I get a call from my sister saying that they were at the hospital. I decided to drive over there, and that's when we kind of understood. That's when I pretty much understood that he was going to die. that day. He was going to die that day. So and my mom, she really couldn't watch, so she left crying. My sister went to console her. So I went to, I was there consoling Hanette, and as they kind of did the process of kind of putting him to sleep for the last time. So yeah, so Louis, shout out to him, passed away, and it sucks. I mean, I am not, and I'm not a pet person, so like when my cat, when the cat died, the one that we had for a long time, I didn't really care because I didn't really feed her like that. I didn't really care. Obviously, I
Which,
didn't want to.
which one are you talking about?
The June, she was
Okay.
like she was a cat that we had in multiple places, but
Okay.
she was the outdoor cat. I really didn't care.
Well.
I didn't want it to die, but I wasn't crying. I wasn't crying about it or nothing like that.
Mm-hmm.
This one sucked. This one sucked because like I said, I seen this dog, grow. Obviously taking him for walks. I took him to like grooming places. I spent a lot of time with him, and to see to see him die like that, it definitely wasn't easy. Definitely wasn't easy. It just to see him struggle and stuff like that. It sucked.
Yeah.
So no, it is weird. I wish I would have started the show with it, but I just thought about it, so I figured we might as well do it here. So
Yeah. It was. I remember all the times when I would come over. As soon as I knocked on the door, he's just waiting at the door. I
yeah,
come in, he's just running around in circle. He was definitely a happy dog. Definitely a happy dog. Like whoever came at the front door, he just welcomed them, and him or her, whoever the person was. Because I remember when I would come in, and then there would be a knock on the door. Randy would come in, or if it's Javon or whoever, and he's just all happy. If it was Riddler that would come in, he does the exact same thing. Like whoever walked in that door, he was just a happy dog. He wanted you to pet him, and it was a cute little guy. You know what I'm saying? So it definitely I could see that he was definitely part of the family, and it hurts. The same thing happened, years ago when I was back in middle school when we had our dog, and he just all happy, all running around, and all of a sudden he's just laying in the backyard, just not moving. And to this day, we still couldn't figure out why he died. And
you never took him to a vet.
no, like he was already dead, and my dad was at work at the time, and my mom didn't want to take it to the vet to see what was going on. Frankly, remember, this was back in middle school. I didn't have any money.
Yeah.
My sister didn't have any money, so the only time we could have seen what was going on is if we had our parents spending the money. But my dad was at work at the time, and my mom she wasn't gonna do it. She wasn't gonna spend money to figure out what happened to him. So we never figured out why he died, what was the cause of it. So it's gonna be a forever mystery for me. But yeah, I definitely know the feeling of losing a pet, especially if you love the pet. And and um so yeah, I just hope that everyone is getting better, and you can still have memories, and you can still have all the good thoughts. And I remember you actually had a picture. I don't know if you still have it, but there was a picture of you and Louis together. Like I think you picked them up or something. I think you took a selfie, or someone took a picture of it. But I thought that was, I'm like, oh, look at Hoovy cuddling, with the dog. I don't know if you remember,
I
but
think I probably have to go on Facebook, and I haven't been on Facebook in forever.
oh, okay. So you know what I'm talking about then.
Yeah, yeah, I think
Oh,
I do.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say yeah. Sorry, man. And if y'all going to get another one, um, yeah, I
I mean,
definitely.
technically, we do have another one.
Oh yeah.
That big,
Oh
yeah. But it's not with us right now. Is at Whitney's place. That giant fucking monstrosity of a Great Dane that we have.
yeah. Sounds like you're not happy with this one.
No, no, I actually like the dog a lot. It's just so fucking massive, bro.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
That dog is gigantic, and we have a rabbit.
How you feel about the rabbit? How you feel about rabbits?
They don't bother me too much, so I don't really have a
Okay,
problem with it.
because we know how much you hate animals. So
No,
yeah.
I don't hate animals. Just no, I don't hate animals.
Oh come on, man.
No, I really don't. No, I don't really hate animals like that. Um,
You hate you hate. You don't like cats. You don't like ducks. They just seem to you have some hatred, towards goldfish because you killed all your goldfish. And
no,
so
I
uh,
didn't kill any goldfish. You have no
when
idea what you're talking about.
we tried to move, we was trying to help you move, and
Hmm.
you was trying to dump all the goldfish on the floor. I remember that, and I went
No,
off, and I went off on you, trying to save the goldfish because you tried to dump the water, on the floor, and knowing that the goldfish was in there, and I'm like, what the hell are you doing?
I didn't dump the water on the floor. I tried to dump it into some other shit, and I think the fish hit a rock or whatever. So no, it is what it is.
Okay,
Um, all right. So Joshua, what's going on, bro? Malta, what's going on, man? How you
Malta's
doing?
here. What's up, bro?
So you just got out of church, and you know, okay. And critical
Oh yeah,
drop.
church. Like, how was it? Was it a Bible study or was it something else? And you say I don't like cats, I like dogs, which is a man's best friend. Yeah, 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 pretty much. But I'm not gonna lie though, cats are like cute little animals, so I can't really agree with you there. I would much prefer a dog, but it is easier to take care of a cat than a dog though. A dog needs so much attention and all that. So yeah.
All right. So critical drop. Good evening, all. Apparently, the Switch could be between 350 and 450. I think people will pay for it either way. They'll pay for it either way.
I would.
Actors are getting chewed out for support of Israel. I don't really care. I don't care about that. And lastly, Hoobie, please tell me you saw AEW Wrestle Dream. I didn't get a chance to see it, but I know what happened. So
Now, as far as 350, 450, yeah, you know what? I think I changed my mind. 450 is a lot. I think 400 seems to be more of a fair price. 450 is
how much is the Switch right now?
is 299.
That's the most expensive one.
I think so. Yeah.
$299.
Mm-hmm. What's
Let
what's 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 wrong?
me look this up.
Okay.
Let me look this up. But you're
What
telling
what
me
what, what what's the point you're trying to make?
you're telling me that you're not going to spend $400 on a Nintendo console or a
Yeah, I
Nintendo
would spend.
handheld
I would spend $400. I don't
for
know if I would spend 450.
450.
I don't think I'll spend 450 because remember, you still have to buy a couple of games for it. That's a lot of freaking money. And now that games are $70, I don't think I would want to spend 450 on that.
Um. Okay, so the ones I'm seeing, the most expensive one is the OLED for 350.
Oh yeah, the OLED. Okay, the OLED.
Yeah. So if
I was
you
talking about the original one. Okay.
yeah yeah, but 450. Yeah, yeah, like 450. I think people are gonna buy it anyway. I think people are gonna buy it.
Um, and you think it's a fair price too?
I mean I don't. I'm not paying 450 for a Nintendo console. I'm not. So,
Okay.
but people will. Absolutely, people will. So, F with the question: do you guys think the NBA is in season tournament will bring good playoff type competition, considering there will be a trophy and extra earnings? Um, do I think it will bring playoff type competition? I actually do think so. Mainly for the competition aspect. I don't think the reward means anything at the end of the day, but I do think it'll bring more competition. So I mean, what about you?
No, I don't think so. I think at the end of the day, the most important thing is winning the championship. Nobody's going to be talking about who won the tournament after the season is over and after we have a winner winning a championship. They probably might get a little bit of props during the season, but nobody's not going to care about that. And I honestly believe that the players are not going to care too much for it either. There's no incentive to win some tournament when the most important thing is the championship and performing great at the playoffs to get there. So I don't necessarily believe this tournament. I still disagree with it. I don't like it. I don't think it's needed. But at the end of the day, the most important thing is, are the players going to put effort during this once this tournament starts? Like, are they going to really put effort? That's the most important thing that I care about, the entertainment aspect of it. And if it's not good, then if it's just like any regular season game, then who cares? Like I don't see the huge point of this tournament thing. I really don't.
I think the WNBA does something similar. They call it the Commissioner's Cup, where they'll have certain regular season games designated as tournament games. So, you know, yeah. I mean, look, I've warmed up to the idea. Like obviously the NBA title is is the most important thing. We all know that. But I do think competition. I do think guys care about competition. So I think you'll do well. But I do want to, want to see it live, see how it is.
Oh, and
Um,
as far as you critical drop, who are the actors that's getting chewed out? I'm curious to know who's getting chewed out. I didn't hear anything about that, so I'm
um
curious.
yeah, it, I don't like talking about this because this is just a bunch of bullshit in my opinion.
Wait, when you say BS, you mean like it's all a hoax?
No, not a hoax. It's just the whole situation just saw it just it's trash. It's complete trash. You know what
Oh,
I'm
okay.
saying? Because like I said, I don't want to get into it, but all this bloodshed, all this bullshit over some land. I don't have patience for I don't have patience for stupid shit. And that's the
Mm-hmm.
highest level. That's the highest level of stupid shit, and people's lives are getting lost because of it.
Okay, I
You know what I
see.
mean? Over stupid shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. We don't have no fucking tape or nothing like that. Be like, oh, this mine, this yours. Let's just move the fuck on. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, they have
But
some tape. That's
or
funny.
something like you know what I mean. Like I don't want to hear none of the religious bullshit. Oh, this has some type of secret. I don't want to fucking hear it. I don't want to fucking hear it because you got people who are dying out there over this stupid piece of land.
Getting kidnapped, all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, this is fucking horseshit. This fucking horseshit, man. Like it's never ever going to change. Ain't never gonna change. So like, so yeah, 'cause I seen people get mad at the Miami Heat, the Marlins. Like if you show any type of support for Israel, they get pissed off. If you sympathize with the other side because of all the bullshit that they've dealt with, yeah, a bunch of people get mad at you. Like bro, like as far as I'm concerned, all you guys shut the fuck up. Seriously, shut the fuck up. Either fix the issue or shut the fuck up.
Hmm.
You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? That is what it is. So Ruben's in the chat. What's going on, bro?
What's up,
He was,
Ruben? Glad you're
he
here,
was,
man.
yeah, he was at Wrestle Dream. Live wrestling isn't as hype as I thought.
What? What happened? Like, what were you? Was it like a sold out crowd, or people were just not into it? Like, what was the experience like?
Mm. And then he also mentioned Trump, not Trump, WWE, CM Punk to WWE. I don't know if that's been official yet. I think they're in talks or whatever. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. And frankly, I really don't even care, to be honest with you.
Wait, what? Why don't you care?
I mean, I'm not gonna watch, so why should I care?
I mean, it was a big deal when you mentioned it on your video.
Him going back to WWE? No, him getting fired was a big deal. I don't care if he goes
Yeah,
back.
yeah, but wouldn't that be big news if he goes back to WWE?
It absolutely is big news, but I'm not gonna care.
No. Okay, so
I mean,
if it happens, that means you don't want to talk about it in the podcast then.
no, we can talk about it on the podcast if it happens. But like I
Oh,
said,
okay.
I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if they're even talking or not. A lot of it is just rumors, and a lot of it is just rumors.
Mhm.
So yeah. So I mean, I guess all right. So let's move on. During this time that we were on our little hiatus, Damian Lillard got traded. Now he didn't get traded to the Heat. He got traded to the Milwaukee Bucks. And since I'm a Heat fan, let me address this, right? Let me go first on this. I'm not upset that he got traded to the Milwaukee. I'm not traded that he didn't get traded to the Miami Heat.
Oh wow, okay.
No, I'm not upset. It is what it is. If Portland didn't want to trade with Miami, it's fine. At the end of the day, like Portland got what they wanted. They got a good haul for Damian Lillard. So they did their job. They screwed over Damian. They screwed over Dame in the process, but at the end of the day, they got what they wanted. Right? Now, I'm not upset that he didn't go to Miami. I'm upset that he went to Milwaukee. Because you just turned them into championship title contenders.
Well, they already were, but okay, go ahead.
No, but when you add an all-time great point guard to your team, yeah, you're title contender. You pair him up with an all-time great full player in Giannis. That's a team that should win a championship. That what frustrated me more than anything else. And then conversely, Portland, they got Drew Holiday. They immediately flipped him to Boston, and that made Boston better.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. And 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 I don't want to interrupt, but I just want to say real quick with him and how I've been a little impressed seeing how Porzingis has been also. He's it looks like I think they played against Philadelphia. Yeah, I was watching a little bit of that game. It looks like the offense. I could be wrong, but it looks like they're going to start running plays more towards Porzingis than Tatum. So I'm going to be very interested to see how the season is going to be from here on out if that's the actual case.
Do you trust his body? Because that dude gets hurt a lot.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. Frankly, to me, he's in a situation to where he's just prone to injury, like Zion is, like Kawhi is. Unfortunately, we can't see his full potential of his talent because he's just getting hurt all the time. So I think that's just unfortunate, issue, for him. But I do think the offense is going to be run through more towards him. It looks like I could be wrong, but based on what I've seen in that game, they might run the offense more to him than Tatum and Jalen.
What?
Yeah.
Steve, are you serious?
That's what I saw. That's what I witnessed in that game.
Okay,
that's what I witnessed.
It's preseason. No one gives a shit about preseason. They're not running their offense through. They're not. Kristaps Porzingis is not going to be their first option.
Well, we'll see.
No, he's not. He's not.
We'll see.
He's not. He's not. It's going to be Tatum, then Brown, then Porzingis.
So Porzingis will be the third option.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I think you're wrong, but okay. That's fine.
How does this make any sense in the first place? Who's the best player on that team?
Did you watch the game?
Steve, it's preseason. I don't watch fucking preseason.
Okay, you didn't watch the game. I watched.
Yeah,
And
you
what?
want you want to know what you want to know why I
And
don't watch? Because it's preseason.
okay,
It's
have a
fake
no.
basketball.
Have a no. So what you're trying? So what you're saying is there's absolutely no chance of what they did, what they're doing in the preseason. They're not going to try to duplicate that in the regular season. That's what you're saying.
They're what they likely did. They're gonna try to run some plays for Porzingis. That's what they're gonna do. But I guarantee you, he's not gonna be the first option. If he is the first option, then that team's gonna be garbage. Straight up.
Okay,
So
we'll see.
all right. So let me read some. Okay.
Well,
Let me
I
say,
think well my thoughts about this whole this big trade is that I think people, especially Miami Heat fans, they should be upset because they knew that where Damian Lillard wanted to go.
yeah.
He wanted to go to Miami.
And I think that was the issue in the first place because I think what the Blazers did was that they decided, you know what, we're not trading you to where you want to go. We'll trade you to a title contender, which the Bucks are. They can't, and Dame can't be like, if Dame was like, yo, I'm not reporting to Milwaukee, I only want to go to Miami, he's gonna look bad. Because at the end of the day, the reason why he wanted to leave Portland because he wanted to go to a title contender. And that's what Portland was not going to be. And if he decided not to go to Milwaukee, then he will look like a hypocrite. So what Portland essentially did, they gave him what he wanted, just not at the place that he wanted. And in the meantime, they made our two biggest rivals better. In the meantime,
Far better.
yeah. So they kind of screwed us over. So I mean, it is what it is. Like I'm not upset about it. It is what it is.
Wow, you're not upset about it. Okay.
No, I'm not upset about it because we went to the finals last year without him. So the only thing that I think we can hope on like during the season is if we can get a disgruntled guy, like either a star or a very good player to come to Miami and bolster our team. But
I mean, who?
I don't know, but I don't. But to me personally, I think we'll be fine. We're not the best team in the Eastern Conference. It's fine because no one picked us to go to the Eastern Conference Finals anyway. They ain't pick us in the bubble. They didn't pick us to go to the Eastern Conference Finals 2 years ago, and they didn't pick us to go to the NBA Finals last year. So fuck it. Fuck it. Do what you gotta do. All right, so let me read some comments. There's definitely some spicy comments on here.
Do you think he's a hypocrite now because he wanted to ask for a trade and because clearly what he wanted to do and I think it's kind of obvious. Clearly, what he wanted to do is win a championship the same way how Dirk Nowitzki, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, Dwayne Wade did. Winning a championship, and staying in one team and winning a championship. Well, not so much Dwayne Wade because he did go to Chicago, but you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think he's now a hypocrite now that he wanted to go to a new team?
No.
After constantly, with the talks of what he did, with KD, and saying things like he would never, go to make a super team, or saying that he wanted to win a championship in Portland. None of that matters, you think, right?
No, I don't think so because I guarantee you, in his heart, he believed that he could win a championship in Portland. All you gotta do, in his mind, all they had to do was just bring in stars with him. That's all they had to do.
Yeah,
and they could not do it. Could not do it, and he sees the writing on the wall. Like, why would he stay there? Why would he stay there? Because again, they're not going. They're in a rebuild. They're rebuilding. They're rebuilding, and you're not gonna waste your last prime years on a rebuild. You shouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, if I'm him, like, I would get the hell out of here. I would get the hell out of there. Now, the mistake that I think he and his agent made was only being open to one team, going to Miami. I think that was the only. I think that was the big. I think that was the biggest mistake that they made. Because if you read, there's an article that came out by Chris Haynes that explained it, that he at one point he was like, okay, I'll come back to Portland, and the GM was like, no, you're not coming back. We're gonna trade you. So at one point he wanted to come back, but the GM was like, no, we're good. We'll trade you, because they didn't entertain any offer from Miami. They didn't talk to Miami at all.
Yeah.
So, I think that demand hurt them in the end. And when he won yeah, and now you see why guys like James Harden, guys like Kevin Durant do the things that they do, because they don't want to lose. They don't want to lose that leverage. They don't want to lose that power dynamic. Because what happened with Portland is what people want. People around the league want team to do. They want the organization to have the power over the player, not the other way around. And what happened with what James? I don't know what James Harden is gonna do, but so far I think he's been okay. But he's gonna try to force his way out of Philadelphia if things go bad. He's gonna try to force his way out.
You think he's gonna do something similar like he did to Houston?
Likely.
Because if it's the thing is, I don't understand about James Harden. It seems like he does not care about winning championships anymore.
I don't agree with that. I do think he cares. I think the thing is that when things go bad for him, he can't handle it.
You think he cares? You honestly think he cares. You honestly think that he cares after him wanting to leave? After him wanting to leave, the Nets.
Mm-hmm.
All he had to do was just be patient, because everyone has common sense that eventually KD was going to get better. He decided. Go ahead.
I think he does care, because here's the thing: Houston, they tried with him in Houston. They tried, but at that point they weren't going to be very good. Even with him staying there, they weren't going to be good. So they traded him to Brooklyn. And truth be told, like, you can say he can be patient all he wants, but the facts are that he had a player in Kyrie Irving that he couldn't trust, and playing half the games. He didn't want to deal with that, so he asked to go to Philadelphia. And now in Philadelphia is a situation with him and Daryl Morey. And he's like, all right, you screwed me out of some money, so I'm out. So I'm out of here. I want out of here. He can't handle adversity. He can't. So like, I mean, but I do think he wants to win a championship. I just think he wants to do it in a place where everything will be fine. And I personally, I don't. Philadelphia, to me, they're the fifth best team in that in the Eastern Conference, as far as I'm concerned.
The fifth.
Yeah.
Who are the 4 teams that are better?
All right, Boston's better, Milwaukee's better, Miami's better.
Yeah. Okay.
Miami's better, and there's going. I can't name the fourth Eastern Conference team, but they'll be better. Whoever they are.
Wait, what? Are you serious? You can't do that. You got to name you got to name the 4 teams.
I can't think of all the teams right now, but whoever they will be, they'll be better. whatever it is what it is. Let me read these comments. Malta said that there's a WWE tag team called the Lesbians. I don't think that's true. I don't
What
think
the?
that's
Are you
true.
are you are you freaking kidding me, man?
I'm 100% sure that's not true. I'll look it up, but I don't think that's true. Because
Yes,
remember,
yes. I want you to look that up.
yeah, I don't think that's true at all.
You got to be joking, man. You got to be joking. Please, Malta, tell me that this is a joke.
Because they are a PG product, so they are a PG product. So I don't think they would go that far. Okay, so while I look it up, while I look this up, let me read some more comments. Ruben said that it was a dope show, not sold out. It's just for me personally. I prefer watching it on the big screen. The crowd loved it. It was a great showcase. It's only for personal preference for me. I was also in cheap seats though,
Oh
and he
yeah,
said he. Mhm. Go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah. If you like, look, for me, the only time whenever I am going to some type of show or some type of like sports show or a concert or stand up, if I don't have good seats, I'm not going.
Yeah.
What is
Oh,
what is
I look. They don't have a tag team called the Lesbians.
what's the point of going to an event to where now you have to have a pair of binoculars to see what's going on. I'm not interested in doing that. You have a better view of watching it at home than me going out there, having a telescope to see what in the world is going on stage. I'm
Well, I
not
mean,
I'm not interested in doing that.
you don't think
The
there's
only the only
a
time that's acceptable is in a movie theater. That's it. But go ahead.
you don't think there's a benefit to being in the same place where the event is happening?
When you're far away, no.
I mean, when you're part of the atmosphere and all the other stuff, you don't think there's no benefit to that?
Not if you can't even see what's going on, no.
I mean, they have screens.
Exactly. So you might as well watch it at home if you're just going to look at the projector screen.
All right. Okay.
So someone like you who don't even like to go to these live events, I would think you'd be on my side on this one.
No, it depends on what it is. Like if I'm going to like a baseball game, I have no problem sitting in a cheap seat. I don't really care. Like sporting events in general, I don't really care, to be honest with you. Maybe if I was watching wrestling, maybe I would want to be a little bit closer. But I mean, if I'm going there, I'm going there for the atmosphere and for the event. That's why I'm going. Ruben said that he loved Butler's look. You seen the look that he had, right? You seen the hairstyle.
And there was a thing that he's doing this intentionally.
Oh, he absolutely is. Yeah.
Like he's doing this intentionally so that way they could take his shot and use that
Yeah.
as a way of representing of him. Like, whenever they're talking about him or whatever. Like I heard that he's doing that stuff on purpose. I do not like that look. However, it is better than the first one he did. Oh my gosh, he looked awful.
You didn't like the dreads everywhere?
No, he looked so awful. I don't know, for some reason it fits certain people, but to him it just does not fit. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Do you like the look?
I wouldn't do it.
Okay, so that means no, you don't like the look.
No, I mean I like the look on him, not on me. You tell me, look at.
Oh
He
my
said
gosh,
he said that he was in his emo phase.
that's just awful, man. That looks awful and looks gay
I'm
too.
I'm I'm, I'm gonna say that as my screensaver. Give me 1 second while I say this as my screensaver. You can read questions if you want.
Like what he's trying to look like? Irie? Is that what he's trying to look like? For goodness sakes, man! Like is that how is that what he's trying to look like? Gee whiz, I don't like it. Miguel says Lillard is an all-time great. Three question marks. What has he accomplished? He's talking to you.
Yeah, I know. And to me, how is he not an all-time great? Like the numbers itself said that he's an all-time great. And you look at the playoff performances, he has historic playoff performances. You know, like again, like he look, he's already a Hall of Famer. You can quibble about all-time great, but if he wins a championship, he's an all-time great. I'll say that. If he wins the championship, he'll be an all-time great because he already had the numbers. He had the numbers. He had the moments. Like he will be an all-time great. The numbers themselves say it. Ruben said that the Bucks are running the East. I will see. Malta said that just skip the preseason. I don't mind it if they're just going to just get things sharpened up. Get the energy, get the blood flowing, get the energy going. Kind of understanding each other as teammates and stuff like that. I don't mind, but that doesn't mean I have to watch. That doesn't mean I have to watch. So they should have shipped Dame to Orlando. I guarantee you, if he went to Orlando, he would not go into report to Orlando. Or worse, Houston. Tradition. Ruben said traditionally let Riley cook. Yeah. So yeah. Like, oh, Steve's gone. And trust me, it's not my internet. My internet's been good. So his internet's effing up. Let me give him a little. Let me send him a little message. Let's see. Yeah, let me send him a little message. All right. So in the meantime, the Hawks. Um, you know what? I wouldn't discount them. I wouldn't discount the Hawks. Um, so let me send him a message. All right, so I sent him a message, but we'll. Oh wait, there we go, there we go. Oh, you're back. What happened?
It looks. I don't know. I moved the my hub,
Mm-hmm.
and somehow it interfered with the internet. Maybe the Ethernet cable what came off when because I moved it by accident, and that's what happened.
Okay. Multa said that the 76ers are a top three team in the East. Based on what? Who did they add?
Well, clearly he believes it's Milwaukee, Boston, and then it's the 76ers will be. So
All right. Okay. So here's how I see it. If you're gonna do that, Milwaukee, Boston, and then all the way down here the 76ers. Let me tell you who here's who you have as your top two players. You have a player who don't want to be there, and you have a center who one is a flopping dipshit who's going to get hurt and who ultimately going to want to leave because Harden leaves. When he leaves, he's going to be the only reliable guy on that team, and he's going to want to he's going to want out. He's going to want out.
and if I hope that doesn't happen, but if that does happen, my goodness, they will have to start tanking all over again. Because and I remember how they were tanking for quite some time. Like I remember they were bad. I think there was 1 year. I think they were almost like at 20 games, but not winning not one game. I forgot what year that was, but there was a moment in time where I think it was like 15 or about 20, 15 to 20 games they on the loss column, and then they haven't won not one game. Like it was just they were just bad. And I think if Joel Embiid leaves because James Harden leaves, yeah, that you might as well just start tanking for the rest of the season if that happens.
Mhm. All right, so the emo look is cool to me. I want emo Jimmy pop figure. Malta said that Embiid is the best player in the East, tied with Giannis. Um,
Do you agree with that?
No, no, I don't. And this is mainly because I'm not a fan of Joel Embiid. I'm not. I'm tired of this the same shit every single year. He cries about winning MVP. He flops like a fucking dead fish. And at the end of the day, when you need him the most, he's not gonna get you to where you need to go, and he's gonna throw other players under the bus. He absolutely is a great player. I'm not gonna deny that, but there's too much of that stink of that past Philadelphia 76ers regime that he still has on him. The excuse making, the flopping. I'm not with it. He's the modern day Akeem. Well, I mean,
Finally, Green Bay scores.
I what's the score?
No, it's tied 10-10.
Okay.
I think Dylan was the one that scored.
Okay. I have Jordan Love. I have Jordan Love as my fantasy quarterback starting, and you know it's funny. I had him starting last week because I thought that Cleveland was gonna limit Lamar Jackson, and Lamar Jackson had his best game of the year, and that pissed me off. But I know Lamar struggled a little bit. I know Lamar struggled a little bit last week.
Do you use the app? Or use the app? What by the way, what was taking you so long to finally to join the fantasy team? Like Lazaro was texting me like, "Yo, what's going on with Hoopy?" And I told him I don't think he wants to do it because you were taking forever to start.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, to me, I prefer to just concentrate on my team. But this year I decided let me try it out. And the thing is, I actually would like to try it out for us next year on the Discord. We have our own fantasy league. So yeah. That's why I joined. And I'm probably I'm gonna have my first win this week anyway, so I'm happy about that.
Okay.
All right, so Malta says when I watch Joel, I feel like I'm in a dream. I mean, if falling down is a dream, I guess I have dreams of falling down too. So I guess we have that in common. I mean, I don't really have anything else to say. Like I said, I look, I get it. Boston and Milwaukee are the top two teams in the Eastern Conference, right? But I still think Miami can be in that conversation. I still think so, and it's predicated on three things: Bam Adebayo getting a 3-point shot, Tyler Hero advancing to the next level. So he's talking about wanting to average 26. And when you average 26 a game in the NBA, that means you're elite. Yeah. So I'm gonna take him at his word. And 3-point shooting in general. If those three things, because last year we were not a good 3-point shooting team until we went into the playoffs. So if we can get those three things right, we'll definitely be in that top three. We'll be in that top three. So, I mean, you have anything else to say, or we can?
No. We can move on.
Okay, let me. I know this picture is destroying Malta right now. I know he's not liking the look, so let me remove it.
That's what I said. That's the exact same thing what I said. It looks gay in my opinion. Okay. The guy looks like as if he wants to become a freaking transgender. No offense, but yes, offense. Yes. Right, so 76ers top 4 with James Soft. No chance. So McKinney disagrees with you with that.
Now, if he stays for the whole year, do I think they'll be a top 4 seed based on the talent that they have? Yes, but I don't. do I think they're gonna do anything in the playoffs? No, absolutely not.
They'll make it to the second round.
Hmm.
They'll make it to the second round.
All right, that's the limit. And when the second round's your limit, you need to change.
Change as
You
in
need
rebuild.
Yeah,
Oh wow. Okay.
because the second round shouldn't be your goal. That should be the goal for Charlotte, not for the Philadelphia 76ers.
Yeah. Okay. I agree with that. Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, pretty much, I guess we said these next two topics could be the last topic, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Xbox, they had a massive leak that we weren't able to talk about last week, 2 weeks ago. They had a massive leak, when it comes to kind of like their plans, right? And the thing that I think, the one thing that you mentioned that I actually really only want to talk about this. But there is a couple other things, right? They're making a Xbox Series X that is digital only. Not the S. That's the one that I have. I have the S.
Yeah.
What their revision is that they're gonna make a Series X, but it's only digital. It, like the way it was shaped is like like how do you call it? Not a prism. What does a 3D circle is?
A 3D a sphere.
Yeah, a sphere. It's gonna be like a tall sphere, and it will no disc.
Okay, so like a cylinder
Yeah,
with no disc.
no disc drive. Digital only for
Mm-hmm.
500. They were gonna have this two-tone controller, kind of half black, half white.
You have a picture of it?
Let me see if I can find it. Because I don't know if this is like the official picture, but this is kind of like what they were planning on doing. Um.
Let me see if I can find an article for this thing.
Yeah. Okay. Oh shit! I already found it.
Okay.
Let me show you. Let me show. Okay.
Oh, Malta said he's gonna head to the gym. Yeah, Malta. Yeah, do your thing, man. Like
Oh yeah,
it would be so
that boy
cool.
looking jacked. That
Yeah,
dude looking jacked.
it would
Holy
be
crap.
so awesome if you could still listen to us while you're working out. But I understand you probably prefer to listen to music, and I completely understand that. But yeah, dude, good job on the consistency, and so big shout out to you, bro. Like I hope you
No,
continue
I ain't messing.
to
I ain't
progress.
messing with Malta in real life. I ain't messing with Malta in real life.
Yeah, that dude's gonna knock a nigga out.
What?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Did you just say
But
what you just said?
yeah. But I take it back. I take it back.
Anyway, this is how.
But no, but you definitely look gangster. Like you look like a real, real, jacked, all cut up, which is very great. So I hope you don't stop. And the same thing goes for David. Like if he comes on here, like I'll definitely give him a shout out for that too. But yeah, and so we should probably have like a workout. Yeah, you know what? Who's not gonna want to do that? So never mind. No.
All right,
But yeah,
regardless,
good stuff, Malta. Good stuff, bro.
all right, this is what the leaked image was gonna look like when it comes to this thing, right? You see that this is the Xbox Series X refresh, no disk drive, and this is kind of the controller itself, kind of two-tone controller with haptic feedback and stuff like that. So you had that. But the thing that I think you mentioned that I wanted to talk about was a comment that Phil Spencer made regarding Nintendo and his desire to want to buy Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what are your thoughts on this? What are your thoughts? I have thoughts on this too.
On
Not,
this. What are you talking about? This, or are you talking about the Nintendo
no,
part?
Nintendo.
Oh well, before we talk about Nintendo,
Mm-hmm.
I want to address this. The controller looks awful. I don't care what anybody says. That controller looks like garbage. To have the majority of the portion of the controller white and and underneath, the handle, it's black. It looks awful. I don't like it. I don't like the look of it. If I were to have that controller, I would definitely cover it up, with some nice looking skin to cover with skin with good graphics on it to cover that. That thing looks messy. It's ugly. I just don't like the presentation of it. I don't. I don't. I'm sure the controller still functions properly. I'm just talking about how it looks. Looks like garbage. Now, as far as the console look, um, it does look clean. Like it's like very. It looks very sleek, very clean. But it just also have like a generic look to it though. Like it looks like one of those. I forgot what those devices called. Like it looks like a plain generic easy look. I just not saying that it's bad, but it's just so generic in my opinion. Especially for a console. Like if you're gonna give this thing, if you're gonna make a console and it looks like that, I'm just not impressive with the whole look of it. Um, and what also irritates me is that this is going to be a primary console, is like the X, that has no disk drive whatsoever. I have a huge problem with that. All this will do for me is it solidifies for me to stay away from your console. That's it. I'm not interested in buying digital consoles only. If I were interested in doing that, I would just have a PC and that's it, and be done with it, and be done, with consoles as a whole, with the exception of Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, for me, if that's what you want to do, which now prevents me from, like whether if it's making trades or giving it to GameStop or whatever, all you get rid of all of that for me. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
like I said, I always prefer to have physical media than having everything just digital. Like I always prefer physical. I will always prefer that. Whether it's games or if it's comics, whether it's movies, I will always prefer the physical over the digital. So I'm not happy. I'm not happy with that. Now, as far as the Nintendo is concerned, I was very shocked at first when I discovered that they wanted to buy Nintendo. Clearly, their huge game plan, in my opinion, is that they just want to have full control of the video game industry. They want to have full control of Activision, obviously, by buying them out. They wanted to have. They want to buy freaking Nintendo. Like once if something like that were to happen, there, there's what is there left for Sony to do? There's no reason for Sony to continue. There's no other reason for any other gaming company to start their own console. Like, well, what's the whole point? Like, the gaming industry will be Xbox if that were to happen. I do not want them buying Nintendo. And frankly, for me, I think the company would be worse off. I think they will compromise the whole entire Nintendo brand. I honestly think that most of the franchises that Nintendo have would not be the same. And frankly, I think they're probably going to neglect all the other franchises anyway, with the exception of Mario and Zelda. I think they will probably just get rid of all the other stuff. We've seen them do that in the past when they bought who was it? Was it Rare that they bought? Wait, who was it that they bought? That company that they bought?
Rare.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, so yeah, it was Rare. And look, Microsoft, they all they want is just power, or I should say, like how people want to say, well, it's not right to have a monopoly, but that's what they want. That's what they're aiming for, because they know they can't compete against Nintendo and Sony in the gaming industry. So instead of trying to innovate, instead of trying to actually, make games, to compete, they don't. They just don't want to compete at all. They don't want to compete. So they just want to use their money that they have, because they're a multi-billion-dollar company. They just want to use the money what they have to get rid of the other competition. That's what they want to do. And am I a supporter of that? No, I'm not a supporter of that. I'm not in support of the new console. I'm staying away from Xbox from here on out.
So obviously, they're not surprised, because when they first got into the industry, their first thing to do was they tried to buy Nintendo, and Nintendo said no. So I think after that they decided to buy Rare, because I think Nintendo, I guess Nintendo was obviously open to selling Rare, so they bought that. Um, Look, it's not a surprise to me, and I see Xbox dudes saying, "Oh well, they're not serious about buying Nintendo or whatever." Why would I not take them seriously? Look at what they've already bought. Look at what they're already trying to do, and you don't think that they think that buying Nintendo is not only going to bolster Game Pass, is also going to bolster their presence in Japan, which is what they want. Like they know, they like, and the thing that is I wouldn't say it's frustrating, but something that it just confirms everything that I know about Microsoft is that Phil Spencer talks about this like this was a crowning achievement that he wanted. Oh, buying Nintendo, not making games on Nintendo's level, buying Nintendo. That's your crowning achievement. That's the thing that you want to accomplish the most.
Yeah.
It just kind of showed me who they are as a company. And look, they have the money to do it. Whatever it is what it is. I don't think Nintendo will ever seriously consider one. They're not in any financial trouble to sell, so we're good there. Um, but like I said, we all know what Microsoft is trying to do. They're trying to bolster Game Pass by buying up the industry. And I will say this: now I have an Xbox. I don't hate my Xbox, but this is obviously what they're doing. And to be honest with you, if you're a PlayStation fan or a fanboy or whatever, if you're a fan of any other company, right? PC gaming, whether you favor Steam or Epic Game Store or whatever, at the end of the day, you do not want a company who has shown that they have a hard time dealing with handling their business, running the industry. You don't want I'll put it to you like this. You don't want the you don't want the most incompetent person in your office being in charge of your office.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say as harshly as that to Microsoft, but that is the case. They're third place for a reason.
And they
And
always have been.
yeah, and they've decided, we're gonna buy Bethesda, we're gonna buy Activision, and we're gonna buy more companies so that we can get this Game Pass thing and check. And there was also something that was said in the release also, where they said that they don't reach. I think the number was that they don't reach 100 million subscribers in Game Pass that he was going to leave. That he was going to leave, and I mean, I don't think that means anything, because he could easily just get fired before then, or he can just retire before then. But that's what he said, and I don't know if it'll ever reach 100 million subscribers, but I guarantee you, it will do it a lot easier if they had Nintendo.
Oh, 100 million subscribers.
Mm-hmm.
That's wow. That's too much, man. That's a goal like that is unrealistic, and I think how can you reach 100 million subscribers? You don't even have. First off, you don't even have that many people buying your console anyway.
But here's the thing: their goal is to put Game Pass everywhere, not just on Xbox, not just on Xboxes. They want it on PC. They want it on the Switch. They want it on the PlayStation. They want it everywhere. And that's how, in their mind, that's how you reach 100 million subscribers. Right now, they're probably at 30, either at 30 or close to 30.
Mm-hmm.
So they got a long way to go. But with all the acquisitions that they're making, they're gonna try. They're absolutely gonna try. So, Ruben said that you get cases like EA where it's about money, when it's about money and not about the project. As far as I'm concerned, that's everybody. That's everybody. Because at the end of the day, it's all about the money. Because these games, in fairness to them, these games do cost a lot of money to make. It costs a lot of money to make. That's why I've always been okay when it comes to like pricing your games. I'm okay with them pricing it at whatever price that they feel fit. Right? And I know that it's gonna sound, I know what I'm gonna say. What I'm about to say right now is gonna cause an argument. If they feel like they want to charge $100 for their game, I would let them price it at $100.
You're crazy. You're crazy for saying that.
I am. But at the end of the day, if you feel like that's how much it's supposed to cost, because I think the Capcom CEO said this a couple days ago or a couple weeks ago, where he said that selling games at $70 is too cheap. It's too cheap for the cost of the development of these games. They said it's too cheap. Now I'll put it to you like this: if you're gonna sell your game for $100, then yeah, I that game needs to be as complete as possible.
You don't even get that at $70.
That's true.
So why is it that you would support why is it that you would support something that costs 100? I don't care how much money it costs you to make the game. You don't even do a good job of completing the game anyway. It's still going to cost us, the consumers, money.
But there's a higher level of expectation that comes with buying games at a higher cost. There's a higher level of expectation. If you're charging people $100, then that game better be complete and need to be functional at launch. Very functional.
I don't want to see any bugs or any glitches, in the game whatsoever. And frankly, to me, if I'm going to pay that price, I don't want to see anything about microtransactions either. I want complete access. I want everything to be in the game day one. If I'm going to spend that much.
Ruben said you buy the whole game and spend $120. That he's not wrong about that. If you're buying a game plus you're buying, either stuff in the store or DLC, you're spending more than $100.
That's fine.
You're buying a collector's edition. Yeah, you're spending over $100.
Yeah, but at least with the collector's edition, like the one that I have, you still get a lot of things that are tangible, things that are physical. So I could understand, like, getting statues or getting posters or stuff like that. I could understand why you would spend so much money regarding to the physical stuff, but to me, I'm not going to spend that much money anyway, because because when you want to have an additional experience when it comes to cosmetics, that has absolutely nothing to do with gameplay. Nothing to do with it. That should be by choice. But like if you want an additional character, an additional weapon, you want like if there's some type of side story that you can unlock, if there is a situation to where like okay, a good example, like let's say with Final Fantasy, for example. If
Mhm.
there's a if there's a if there's a if there's a side story to where you could play as Sephiroth, or you could play as Zack and whatnot, and you have to pay for it, like okay, fine. I have no problem with that. Because that has nothing to do with with the with the official story. Well, I mean, it kind of does, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Mhm.
Like all this extra stuff, if as long as it doesn't really mess with the initial gameplay or the story arc, I'm completely fine with that. Especially when it comes to cosmetics, I don't mind. But if I am obligated to spend extra money when it comes to like additional characters and additional weapons, and I'm spending $100 for the game, I think that's BS. I think it's BS. That's I don't like that type of practice if I'm going to spend that much money on the game. Now Riddler says bugs and glitches happen regardless. To think otherwise is senile.
Mhm.
Um um you do realize when you're going to spend so much money on a particular product, that product better function 100% of the time. I don't care about having bugs and glitches or happens regardless. Oh, that's gonna happen by default. No, if you are going to make a video game that kind of price for me to buy, that game better be functional as soon as it comes out. Period. End of story. End of story. I mean, hell, that to me, $70 is too much, and I think we shouldn't be expecting any type of glitches whatsoever when it comes to a game being $70. But yeah, but look, we still have incomplete games coming out anyway. We still having to mess with all these updates. Why? Because now the business model is, oh, we could just fix the game later on. Here you go. Here you go. And I'm not interested. I'm not interested in spending $100 if the game is not completed. I'm not.
Before Joe said that you're unrealistic, it's been like that since the '90s, and he's not wrong with that. Me, here's the thing: if
But
I'm
but but,
spending,
they, but okay, but it stopped. It stopped.
no, didn't. What are you talking
It
about?
yes, it did. What game what game that's $100 right now? I'm not talking about collections editions and all that. I'm talking about just a regular game. What game right now it costs $100?
I mean, there were games back in the day that cost a lot of money.
That's what I mean by it's not happening anymore.
Well, yeah, because the thing is that when the games were, remember, cartridges cost a lot of money to manufacture. Cartridges cost a lot of money to manufacture. That's why those games were expensive.
Mm-hmm.
It was only until the CD came out. Remember, because the average PlayStation game was cheaper than the average N64 game, and that's all because of the cartridge.
Well, yeah, the cartridge, was
But
mad expensive. Yeah,
yeah, but regarding the whole bugs and glitches thing, like you're always gonna have bugs and glitches. It's gonna happen. My expectation for $100 game is a game where I can play the game, and it can have some issues here or there, but the game has to be one. Obviously, the game has to be good regardless of how much it costs. But I don't. But when I buy a game, right, I don't want it to feel like I'm gonna need to spend extra to get the full experience of the game. At least that's how I feel.
yeah,
Like I don't want to have to spend extra. I don't need to spend an extra $25 to get the full experience of the game. I want that experience of the game to be there at launch, and anything that they add is either expansions, which I don't mind paying for, or quality of life decisions or quality of life improvements. But all right, so let's continue on. Google NES game prices, and most of these games had bugs, and yeah, he's right with that too. Games have always been buggy.
Yeah, but they weren't as noticeably buggy like it is now. Not even close.
To me, it depends. It depends on the game, in my opinion. It depends on the game. Some games are buggier than others. All right, to buy all GTA 5. Oh my bad. Hold on, let me get the thing ready. To buy all of GTA 5, not including a Megalodian card. Um, yeah, I'll put it to you like this: if I spent $100 on GTA 5, I would be satisfied with that. What would frustrate me What frustrates me about what they did with GTA 5 is that all their content was online. All the extra content that they added, all of it was online. And yeah, it is what it is. I wish they would add single player content, but fuck them, fuck single player gamers, I guess. Um, and apparently, Rudolphi still owes Joe a beer. So, all right, man. Hopefully, he does get that beer. Do you have anything else to say about the Xbox before I move on to Jim Ryan?
Do you think do you think if Microsoft were to buy the Nintendo product, do you think Nintendo would completely get compromised as far as the quality of the game, or games getting neglected or whatever? Like, what do you think the negative impact would be?
The negative impact is that you have one competitor buying another. That's the negative impact, and I don't want that to be the case. Like I said, I don't want PlayStation buying Nintendo. I don't want no one buying anything. So
Oh, okay. Okay.
yeah,
You wouldn't want that regardless. Okay.
no.
Okay.
So
Don't like I said,
yeah. So I mean,
the
but
only time I probably would want that to happen is if a gaming company just stop making games completely. You know what I'm saying? Like if somebody were to buy, um like, for example, we haven't really necessarily seen that many games that have been coming out, from Konami. So if a company wanted to buy Konami and then they would bring all their games back, then I wouldn't mind, because you're not doing anything.
no.
You're not doing anything. You're not doing anything with your games, and a lot of these gaming companies that, because look, over the years, since back in the Super Nintendo games, right? There's been so many great games that you and I have talked about over the years, whether if it was with you, me, Joe, or Randy or Seafring. There's been so many games over the years that's been out that we wish that the franchise would continue. You know what I'm saying? Like, we would, I would absolutely would love another, Legend of Dragoon or Legend of Legaia, type of game. I think Joel would definitely be happy if another Suikoden game would come out. I think what was that game? What was that fighting game that you said you wanted to come out? The one that you mentioned that was similar rip off to Street Fighter. Crap, I forgot what the game was. Do you know what I'm
Mm,
talking about?
no.
You said it was a complete rip off of Street Fighter, but the game was so good. I think you said Capcom tried to sue them, and they
Oh,
didn't win. What is it?
Fighter's History.
Oh, okay. So it was that one. Yeah. Because, and I think we made a podcast one time of what dead franchise we would want to be revived,
Mhm.
and I forgot what some of the games that you said. But like, look, like I've mentioned NBA Streets, I've mentioned Brave Prince Musashi. I would love another Battle Arena, Teshiden, type of game. Like, there's been so many games over the years that they just no longer exist, and those were just amazing, good quality, type of games. And now, if a company decided to buy, like, if Sony decided to buy a company that used to make games, and now it's in their arsenal, then yeah, I don't have a problem with that. But like, when it comes to like Nintendo, you want to buy Nintendo? No, I don't. I do not want something like that to ever happen, ever. Because I guarantee you, most of those games will get compromised anyway. So that's my thing.
Yeah, I'm just not I'm just not interested. I'm just not interested in seeing them continuously buying publishers. You know what I'm saying? Like if you want to buy developers and stuff like that, that's perfectly fine. But publishers, I'm not interested.
One last thing. Are
Mhm.
you okay with this new console being digital only?
Look, I don't know if it'll be that way now because Phil Spencer came out with a tweet showing his displeasure that it got leaked, and he said that everything that's being shown is what our future our past plans were. So he's saying, oh, these are not the plans that are gonna happen right now. And it
So he
is what it is.
received. So he received backlash that it was digital only.
No.
Oh, okay.
He's just saying that he just doesn't like the fact that these leaks are out. But it makes sense that they were going to release a digital only because I think they want what they want. They want people to invest in Game Pass. That's what they want. And the thing that I've noticed is that the only game that they want to sell are their premium edition games, right? Early access games, right? Like Forza. I know there's a lot of people who've been playing Forza on my timeline. They had I don't know how much the premium edition cost, but it's definitely more than $70. They had to pay
Okay.
extra to get that version of the game. And everyone else, like me, you're gonna wait for tomorrow for it to come out. Pretty much, for on Game Pass. That's the only game that they want to sell from theirs is the early access game to get early access.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they want. But we know their goal is Game Pass. That's what they. So it doesn't surprise me.
Yeah,
So
and this would definitely hurt. Like, cause I fear that if they do have a console that's digital only, something tells me that Sony will follow suit, and I think Nintendo will do the same thing
I
as
mean,
well.
Sony already has a console that's digital only. Like
I'm talking
the,
about the primary console,
oh, okay. Oh, we'll see.
and I don't want that to happen. And if something like that were to happen, my goodness, officially you could say goodbye to GameStop if that would happen. Wow.
Which I believe is partially owned by Microsoft, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't ever remember that happened, but that's crazy. That's true.
I'll look it up. I'll look it up. Yeah, I'm gonna look it up real quick. But anyways, Jim Ryan, the CEO at PlayStation, he is resigning. I am gonna make a video about this. I'm gonna make a separate video about this. Hopefully, either tomorrow or sometime this week. Um, Now I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not the biggest fan of Jim Ryan. Um, I don't really give a shit if he there or not. To be honest with you, because I don't know what the new CEO is gonna do. I have no
Mm-hmm.
idea. Him leaving, I don't know why he's leaving. He did say that it was because of travel. Like he wanted to stay with his family and all the other stuff. And I guess I don't really care, but like I don't. To me, the way I feel about it is that I don't feel sad about it, but I definitely don't feel sad about it. But I'm not like happy that this is happening because like I said, I don't know what to expect. I have no idea what to expect because like I have no idea what this new CEO is gonna do, right? Because they haven't named a replacement. I have no idea what if his plans are similar to Jim Ryan's, then yeah, I'm not gonna be a fan. But I don't really have I have an opinion, but I don't know exactly how to articulate it to where it makes sense, at least for me. Because yeah, he's been CEO for what 4 years. including during the pandemic. So that obviously hurt a lot of his plans, just like it did to everybody. And yes, Sony under his leadership has made more money now than they ever have. But there's a lot of stuff that he's done that I'm not okay with. But I don't know if it's him or the shareholders in general. I don't know who's responsible for it. Because him saying whining about, oh, he wish everyone can play these PlayStation games. I didn't like that. Um the idea that you can increase the price of PlayStation Network and still not address it. I don't like that. I don't like the lack of I don't like the lack of transparency at the company regarding what games we know about. We don't know jack shit of what they're doing next year. Doubling down on VR, I'm not a fan of that. Um
Well, VR, I'm not really like you could tell that he's been putting so much effort of trying to push VR into PlayStation owners' homes. Like you could tell that you see ads about it everywhere. You're constantly seeing it, in their conferences and whatnot, to showcase and whatnot. Like I know they really want to push VR into people's homes. To me, the way they should have done it, like if you really want people to have the full experience of it, like you probably should have made it a bundle. I think, because I know for a fact there's going to be a lot of people that's just not interested unless you could really enhance the unless you could really enhance the experience of these games. And frankly, to me, I think horror games is if the only advantages that it actually have are the horror games. Like as far as everything else, I don't see what any other additional experience you could actually have with VR other than playing a survival horror game. You know what I'm saying? So but I don't necessarily think it's bad that he really wants to push VR to people. I think I see why they're doing it. It is very expensive. Um, and I think they that I don't think they want that investment to fail. I mean, obviously, but I think I don't blame him for that. Is what I'm trying to say. I really don't. The only thing I blame him for is that he increased the PS5. But I think it was his idea to increase the PS5 everywhere else. I know you were saying. I know we made a podcast about it, and you didn't
mhm,
really care because it didn't affect you or I. But I
mhm.
think that was a BS move, and a lot of people. I know some people call him a dictator. Some people call him a villain, for doing stuff like that. Like just weird, unusual decision making on his part when it comes to that. So some of the decision making that he did, I like why. Like I
That's
just
the,
didn't
that's the thing.
understand it.
He doesn't talk to gaming outlets. He really only talks to he'll talk to some gaming outlets, but mainly he talks to business outlets and stuff like that. And look, I don't need him to be like Phil Spencer, but this idea that we can go into 2024 and I have no fucking clue what they're making. To me, I'm not happy about that. I'm not happy about that. In 2016, right when E3 2016, after they showed their conference, right? I knew when Spider Man was gonna come out. I saw glimpses of God of War. What again did they show? Shit. What again did they show? I know they showed Ghost of Tsushima.
Mm-hmm.
They showed a whole bunch of games, right? And it's like, bro, like, look, they may not even come out next year, but at least I know that I see where these games are going. And I get it. If these games are not ready, then let them cook. I have no problem with that. But we have no idea what they're making past 2020, past 2024. We have no idea. And the silence is not a good thing.
Yeah,
And yeah, I don't give two flying fucks about VR. Don't give two shits about VR.
I know you was gonna say that.
Yeah, I don't. I simply don't. And like I said, I don't know. Like I said, I'll make a video about this tomorrow. Hopefully, I'll have more to say tomorrow. But yeah, I can't say that it's a good thing or a bad thing because at the end of the day, I'm not there. I don't know. I don't know what's going on over there. I don't know. I don't know if the reason why he's leaving is legit or not. I have no idea. All I know is that when he's been in charge, there's been a lot of stuff that he said that I don't agree with, and there's been
Yeah.
a lot of stuff that he's done that I don't agree with. But I don't know if the new guy is gonna be better or worse. I have no idea because look, at some point they will put all their games on PC. I think it's inevitable that they will. And I'm not,
Well,
and
that
I'm not in favor of that.
that's stupid. Well, go finish up, and then I'll say what I have to say.
Yeah, I'm not in favor of that. Shout out to I'm sorry, Rudolphi. I know that's something that you would like to see. I'm not in favor of it because at the end of the day, why do I have this console for? And I remember I had a conversation with someone who I'm cool with. I have no problem with him, but he said the first thing he would do if he was PlayStation CEO is put all their games on PC day one. And then I asked him why would I buy a console? Why would I buy your console? And people come up with, oh well, PC gaming it might be too hard for some people. And look, you're right, but at the end of the day, why am I wasting my time with this console when you give me no incentive to buy it?
Well, why is it too hard? What does he mean by it's too hard?
No, it'd be a little bit tough to get into, like I think Rudolph will explain it better, but like if there's an issue with your PC, it's kind of like if it's an issue with your car. Not one issue is going to be the same. And you have no idea what could be what could be wrong with your car. You might think it's one thing, it could be another thing. You know what I'm saying? It could be this thing, could be that thing. You never know. But to me, if you're not giving any value to owning a console, then what's the point of owning the console?
Yeah.
If there's no incentive to buy your console, why would I buy your console? That's pretty much it. And the way that he has been saying this, the way that this man's been talking, he's pretty much saying that, yo, we want like we want hundreds of millions of people to play our games, and I get it, but to me, the only person you need to convince for me to buy something is me. I don't give a shit about no one else. And if you think that bringing your game to 100 million gamers is the way to go, perfectly fine. But I'm not buying your console if I have to deal with all the downfalls of console gaming with no benefit. While people who are on other like for example, the MLB deal, which is under his watch. I've been buying MLB The Show for, I want to say, like 15 years. And I had no problem paying for it because the franchise is excellent.
Mm-hmm.
But Xbox gamers can get the game day one on Game Pass and not have to pay anything. How is that supposed to make me feel? Because you just because and it mainly MLB it was MLB's decision where they wanted to port, because the game was only on the game was only on PlayStation because what happened, I don't know if I want to go through the whole spiel again.
No, yeah, you can. It's fine.
When the whole Madden deal happened, when it came to NFL 2K, right, where Madden and NFL came up with a deal to where the only full NFL game to come out had to come from EA. So 2K couldn't make a football game. Sony, Microsoft, no one was able to make a football game except for EA and was EA, right? And so in retaliation, 2K decided, you know what, we're gonna buy the exclusive license for the MLB. So EA, who had a very popular series called MVP Baseball, They couldn't make it anymore. The problem is there was a loophole in that contract to where console manufacturers can make their own baseball game, and Sony had MLB The Show.
Yeah.
And year after year after year, the gap between the show and MLB 2K just grew wider and wider. And MLB The Show was routinely a game that performed better, that had a higher Metacritic score, and sold better.
Yeah.
So the MLB 2K franchise died out, and the only baseball game that was available was MLB The Show. And then a couple years ago, MLB came up to Sony and was like, "Yo, we want this game to be everywhere." And I'm sure Sony said we would prefer not to. But what Microsoft did, which was smart, what they made a deal, because what Sony did, they relinquished publishing rights of the game to MLB. So MLB would be the one that would be publishing the game on other platforms.
Yeah.
Then Microsoft came in, made a deal with MLB to put their game on Game Pass day one. So you have a PlayStation-owned studio making a game on multiple platforms, and on one of the platforms, that game is basically free for them, while the PlayStation gamers have to pay $70 for it.
Correct. Yeah.
Make it make sense. And frankly, that's under his watch. It's under his watch. So, like I said before, I don't know what to pinpoint the stuff that's gone on since he's been there and not been there or whatever. I can't really pinpoint it because, like I said, I don't know. But some of the stuff that he said, I'm not down with. I'm not down with. And if this path continues, the PS5 will be the last PlayStation console I ever own.
Whoa.
Straight up. Wow. If this trend continues to where they're going, this will be the last console I ever buy. You know what I mean? I will stick strictly to PC. And yeah, it might be difficult at first, but I'll get over it. I know everyone else is not the same way, and I get that. But I need value in what I buy. And if you're not giving me any value, and if I can get something better somewhere else, I'm gonna go there.
Yeah. So yeah, frankly, for me, I think the thing that frustrates me is when I look at on the other gamers, and I'm gonna use Seafring for example, where he mentioned the main reason why he has a PC because he pretty much has everything that he needs. Mm-hmm. Now, if you remember, and this is the reason why I would use him as an example. The reason why he has Nintendo is because he can't play Nintendo games on PC.
I mean, he can, but I don't think he wants to pirate them.
Is that what he's? Oh, I can't remember what he said, but like the traditional route, like you cannot just buy a Nintendo game, for PC. Like it's like there's no game is not released for it. You would want as Sony. You want people to do the exact same thing. Like you want people. There's people right now who, well, I mean, I don't think they're doing it anymore, but there was a lot of people who are PC gamers, but yet they would buy a Sony console because they want to play games like Horizon and God of War and Uncharted and things like that. But if you're going to release these games day one on PC, you lose the people who were buying your console who have a PC, and the people who are buying your console exclusively. Well, now there's no reason for them to continue to buy your console because they could get them over on PC also. Like you lose both of those audience. Like you lose the people who were buying your console as a secondary console because their primary console was their PCs, and now they have the potential of losing people like you who always supported PlayStation. But what, like you said, what is the incentive to continue to support your console if all the games are going to be on PC anyway? So you lose both. What Sony should have done is just continue to bringing games over to PC. To me, was a mistake. I think in the long haul, it is a mistake. Now, I understand the argument that, well, they made additional money because people who had the PC, bought your games.
Mhm.
Understood. But at the end of the day, though, you are going to ruin the incentive for people to buy your console if you're going to bring these games, these IPs, to other platforms. It doesn't make any sense as a long-term investment because there's no incentive to continue to buy future PlayStation consoles. What's the point? And certain strategies like that, I just don't understand. Nintendo could have easily done the exact same thing.
Mm-hmm.
They easily could have done the exact same thing, but no. Like, do you honestly believe that Nintendo is just completely oblivious or have absolutely no idea that Mario, that no Zelda game, that no Kirby game, that no Donkey Kong game, that no F-Zero game, that no Super Smash Bros. Game? Do you honestly believe that they somehow think that those games wouldn't sell on PC? Of course, they know that those games would sell on PC, but they want to keep those games exclusively on their console, on their platform. They want people to invest on their platform. They want people to invest on their console. They know for a fact that if Smash Brothers or Mario or Zelda went on PC, that it would sell. They know that, but they're not going to do it. And I think it is stupid that, yes, you're going to make additional money, but it is dumb for Sony to bring those games over to PC. I don't think that's a good strategy in the long haul. Because now you lose that partial audience for people who were buying your console when they were PC gamers first. It's not a good strategy. At least I don't. So look, him being gone. Do I think the PlayStation brand is going to suffer from it? I mean, I don't think so because I think people really don't like him anyway. They don't like the direction of where PlayStation has been going. But look, at the very least, it's the console is still selling. It's still selling well. People don't like the price hike. People don't like that he's pushing VR, and people don't like you said, people don't like the fact that we don't know where the rest of the games are. Like, where are the future games? Like, we don't know anything. Like, what? You can't just leave your fan base on limbo, and they don't know what. Like, are you going to be making a new Uncharted game? But we don't know. Are you going to be making a new Horizon game? But yeah, we don't know.
Oh, don't get me started on Naughty Dog. Oh my god.
Oh, yeah. I know. Yeah. I know you pissed off with them, but yeah, I think at the end of the day, like this is to me, it just puts a question mark on my head because I don't know which direction am I supposed to go to. I don't know if this is going to be a good thing or a bad thing because I don't know who's going to be his replacement is going to be. I don't. So I honestly, for right now, I can't give a solid answer if this is a good thing, or a bad thing. Because I I I I think so far, financially, PlayStation is fine. They're doing fine. PS people are
Yeah.
still buying it, but I don't know if they are going to suffer when he retires. So I just don't know at this point.
Yeah. So like I said, I'm gonna do a video either tomorrow or sometime this week. Like I said, I'm gonna be working the next couple days, so I'm gonna try to get this video in because I do want to talk about this. So I'll go deeper into it and kind of try to see if I can really formulate my thoughts on this whole thing better. Because like I said, there's lots of things that I'm thinking about when it comes to what his legacy will be. Because, like I said, we can say I can say, "Oh, I hate this dude" till he's blue in the face. If he makes the company money, then he's doing his job.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like if the company and that's what happened. They're making bank, and as long as he's in charge of that, he's doing his job. But there definitely been things that have been going on that I'm not in favor of.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. I'm gonna read these comments, and then we can get out. Then we can go. Joe said we got one discless console in the house. The disc ain't needed, and more really ain't really is a key to unlock the game. And yeah, to unlock the game. When VR.
Well, I got something to say.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, so he said the discs aren't needed anymore. Now, here's the thing. Now, if you feel that way, Jabonis, that you don't need disc anymore, that's completely fine. You know that's because lately I've been noticing how you've been supporting more, digital stuff anyway, I'm not
You're
just.
right. Oh, my bad. I just understood what the last part he's saying. All right, let me reread it. We got one discless console in the house. The disc ain't needed no more. Really, all it really is a key to unlock the game, which you download anyways. And he is right about that. He is right about that. Because all the disc is now is a key. That's it. Is a key to down pretty much to download the game.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah, and well, let me address that. First, like that. To me, I think obviously that was intentional. Now I know people say, well, oh well, it's because of piracy, this and that. To me, I think that's a cop out. I think deep down, now this is obviously a hunch, but I think deep down, what they want to do is just have us have a some type of irrelevancy type of feeling when it comes to physical media, because I guarantee you part of the strategy was, because again I think the whole piracy stuff, because there's always going to be piracy regardless. I think that's a cop out. I think their strategy was that, since, like Jabana said, oh, all of this is just the key that you have to download anyway, they know that gamers are going to say, well, then I might as well just, buy all my games digital, since there's really no incentive to buy a physical copy because I have to download the game anyway. It's not the pop in and play like what I want. That's exactly what I want. I want to go back to where we just pop in the game and play. No downloading, none of that other garbage that we have to deal with. We'll have to wait for 2 hours, or I could easily take a shower, make myself a sandwich, make scrambled eggs, and then the game is still downloaded. I hate dealing with that. You know what I'm saying? And I believe that was probably one of their strategies. Intentionally do that so that way we might as well just download and ignore and neglect physical media. Now that's number one. Number two, Javaris, I'm already aware that you've been supporting digital more than physical media. You do that with games, you do that with comics also. For me, like I have always said before, I will always prefer physical media, physical comics over anything that's digital. That's just me. And Microsoft, I know for a fact that they are aware that we still have a huge audience of people who prefer physical media, and they don't care. You see, I was perfectly fine when they had one console with a disk drive and that they have one console that was just digital. At least they gave you the choice. They still gave the power to you because you had the choice. Now they don't even give you a choice. They don't even give you that choice anymore. You have to have the digital console, and that's all you are going to get. I don't like that. I don't. And that is the reason why I'm no longer going to be supporting Microsoft. I'm no longer want an Xbox console in my house any longer. Now that they're going in this direction. Once again, Jabonis, I have said this with Game Pass, and I'm going to be saying that with the console and as the company as a whole. You don't see it, but I do. They want full control of the industry. They want full control. They want the power. They want to make all the choices for you. Whether if it's with Game Pass, whether if it's having digital games, and whether if it's what you can and cannot say online. They want full control over everything. And I'm sorry, I'm not supporting that company. I'm not supporting them. And so for me, I am staying away from Microsoft's consoles. All of it. That's why I don't have an Xbox Series X or S right now. I didn't buy an Xbox One last gen, and I'm not going to buy an Xbox console now or in the future for that matter. So that's my 2 piece on that.
All right, so Golfy said when VR gets good, expect AAA to go for 100 plus.
I could see that happening. I could definitely see that happening. Yeah.
Fair point, but consoles are being built more like mini PCs. He's right about that. And frankly, I'm not happy with that. And I'm gonna tell you why. And I think look, and I get what Joe's saying right here. So you're saying he's talking to you, but he's saying that so you want mad low screens and load times. To me, here's the thing. I like some of the benefits that come with what some of these consoles can do now. Right? The ability to upgrade, update the game, to do stuff that we never got to do before. Because when a game came out and it was broken, you're fucked.
But that has nothing to do with the game being physical or digital, though.
No, you're right. But here's the thing: if a game came out and it had a glitch, there ain't no fixing it. And in theory, they can fix it. But what it feels like is being used now, being able to do day one update, day one patches and stuff like that. What it sounds like to me is that it seems like it's an excuse to go gold with a game that's not ready. And I can't deal with that. That's frustrating where you have games that come out broken.
Yes.
And the excuse that I always hear, we'll get the day one patch, we'll fix the game. Like Redfall just got a 60 FPS patch, right? The game came out a couple months ago. And I got Xbox dudes up and down my timeline praising it, saying, "Oh, give them props for not giving up on the fucking game." What choice do they have? They released that dog shit piece of shit game. Some people spent $100 on that dog shit piece of shit game. They shouldn't get praised for that. Oh, game over. They shouldn't get praised for that.
Freaking game Green Bay, man. Like I don't know what the hell is their problem. All right, go ahead, my bad. Go ahead.
Yeah, but like I said, there's no what is it? What are they getting praised for finishing their fucking game? That's what we do now. Oh, thank you for finishing your game that you released 3 months ago. No. What are we bragging about here?
Freaking interception. It's just pathetic, man. My bad. Go ahead.
Like, to me, the theory is great, but the execution has been used as a way to say, okay, we'll green light the release, we'll fix the game later. Oh, they're kneeling? Steve, let me ask you a question. Did you know that you can kneel down at the end of the game?
I mean, of course.
You know that, right?
Of course. Well, why?
Because apparently the coach in the University of Miami don't know how to do that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But we're back on track. So yeah, there definitely some stuff, and I look to like the original Xbox, right? Original Xbox had hard drive in it. It was essentially a mini PC disguised as a console. And there are definitely lots of things about it that I liked about it. You know, I like the fact that online gaming became more prevalent on console. I do like that. There's lots of things that I like, but there's other stuff that I feel like is being used by CEOs and publishers to railroad us into buying these fucking games, and then when we complain about the game not being finished or anything like that, we're told, oh well, it's gonna be a patch. Don't relax. And I'm not in favor of that. To me, I'm not in favor of that, man. But he is right. They are essentially mini PCs.
That's fine.
Ruben said that ROG Ally and Steam Deck have entered the chat. So Joe said that don't predict them. I saw a ROG Ally a couple weeks ago. It's a nifty little device.
How do you feel about all of these different handhelds?
Nah, it's cool. I don't mind.
No, but would you are any of them you interested in buying?
No, the prices are too high. It's too high. Like if I'm gonna dab into PC gaming, I rather just get like a laptop or desktop.
Okay, so the ROG Ally, X1 player, Steam Deck, you're not interested in none of those.
No, they're cool little devices, but I don't think buying them would be no, I don't think I would buy it.
Okay.
All right, Joe said, "Don't project on me, Steve. You think you're smarter than you are. Go put your tinfoil hat on."
I don't know what he's talking about, but here's the one thing about Joe. Joe likes to disagree with me just for the sake of disagreeing. It has no substance whatsoever. He doesn't give any type of good valid points. And even Dave called you out on it. See, at the very least, when Hoovy disagrees with me, he would actually not only will I mean, he's has insulted me a couple of times, but at the very least, he would give good valid points of why he disagreed. You just disagree just for the sake of disagreeing. And this is just another prime example of that. I've said over the years and in recent past that all Microsoft wants to do is just have full control. And what did you say? I don't know what I'm talking about. Now, if you want to claim that I don't know what I'm talking about, at least give good reasons why. But I've said when it comes to Game Pass and when it comes to online, what you can and cannot say online. And now, with this console, with the new console that's coming out with I kept on saying over and over, this is just more and more of an indication that Microsoft wants to have control over everything. Oh, but clearly, I don't know what I'm talking about. So clearly, you know more. I guess I'm assuming that you know more. They're not trying to control anything. No. They're just being just a regular average gaming company who doesn't want to control nothing. Right? That's your position. And if that's your position, that's fine. All I'm going to say is that I'm right and you are wrong, sir. All right, the next comment.
Right. Joe said, "Not valid points to you. I've given points all the time."
Yeah, sure you have. That's
Ruben
false.
said that. Don't say that, Steve. Joe has put some decent points on some of your arguments. If Steve doesn't agree, then it's not valid.
No, that's you. It's and you also say, oh yeah, I force stuff, or I force people into my views or whatever thing that you say. Look, you could have whatever opinion that you want. You can have whatever opinion what you want, but everything that I have said about Microsoft thus far has been a fact. They're trying to take control. You see it by how they want to buy Activision. You've seen we read it on the article how they want to buy Nintendo. They want to have full control over everything. Like what more evidence could you possibly need? What they want full control of the industry. Like how is it that I am so wrong? Oh, I have my tin can on by addressing all of those points. I don't know, man. I like I said, you're just wanting to agree just for the sake of disagreeing. That's what it is.
Joe said, Joe said Ruben disagreed with me, and Steve said no. And Ruben said, although I do agree about the Game Pass being a control play. And Joe said he's not talking about the industry.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. I've been talking about Microsoft in general when it comes to the gaming industry and how they want to control everything.
All right, on that note, let's get out of here. It was a good podcast. It was a good podcast.
I'm actually surprised it didn't take as long. It didn't take until like 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2 hours and 30 minutes. I guess that's fine. Like the goal is to just be 2 hours. I would love it if it could just be just 2 hours, but we like to discuss different things, and sometimes we veer off to something else. But that's what I actually do appreciate about the topic, though. We're not some robots. We got to stick to this formula. It's more organic the way how we do it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
All right. So Joe, thank you for watching. It's only good if Steve says it's good. Otherwise, it's not valid.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I think that's you, because what I know about you is that you don't like facts. So yeah, you can't stay that. Oh no. What is that you say? Oh yeah. Black and white is what you always say that I do. But whatever.
All right. So on that note, Nolan, thank you for watching. Joe, thank you for watching. Ruben, thank you for watching. Rodolphe, thank you for watching. Let's see. Malta, thank you for watching. Let's see who else do we have here. All right, so Joshua, thank you for watching. F, thank you for watching. Congratulations, by the way. Critical Drop, thank you for watching. Ryan Meadows, thank you for watching. And that is it. So,
Ruben, Whitney's not here, Ruben. So I don't know why you keep saying hi, Whitney. Is she here? No, she's not here.
No.
Yeah. Well, maybe I don't know. But yeah. Once again, you guys, thanks for watching. And look, my humble apologies that we couldn't do a podcast, all last week. I've had people, message me, and one of the criticisms that that I got with from someone was like, listen, it's good to have, to stick to at least one podcast and not try to miss one. Things happen. What I'm saying, like life happens, and sometimes we're not able to do one. But we are going to work on the kinks. We are going to work on the malfunctions of our devices and being on time and stuff like that. Trust me, all that is going to work. And yes, I promise we will do a tech and tier list. I promise. I promise. And you know what? I think we need to do the handheld one that we promised also. Yeah, we still need to do that. So yeah, we have a lot of good stuff to talk about in the near future, everyone. And I'm definitely gonna discuss this with Hoovy, and if we could discuss the other stuff with Seafring and Soul regarding the tech and tier list. So yeah, it's going to be a good show. We just need to figure out when is the best time to do it. Once again, I appreciate you guys supporting the podcast and watching. And yes, even Mr. Disagree Joe over here, appreciate you joining us. And I'll be looking forward for you calling me an idiot in the Discord. And yeah, with all that being said, it was a good show. God bless you all. This is the Traditionalist 101 signing out. Have a good one.
All right, and Uber 186. Have a good night, you guys.